Whoa! What the? I got myself a haircut, people. Do you like it? No, you don't. You're just gonna bitch about it in the comment section below. But seeing as how I got a haircut, it probably indicates that I finally stopped bitching that Young Justice and Green Lantern are canceled, and I actually left my house. You gotta thumb that up, because that's some effort right there. That's some effort right there. But you know what? Speaking of that, seeing as how probably the two only good shows on television have finally bitten the dust and been canceled, I thought it'd be pretty customary to reel out this really old, really weird, I think Mayan type of technology called television. That's what this thing is. You probably remember it, but these kids these days with their, Xboxes and hopscotch, they probably don't remember this. They really don't, because they've never seen it. With computers these days and Xboxes and, iPhones, those are kind of replaced TV these days. So, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at some shows that actually may be better than Young Justice and Green Lantern, the animated series. Let's see if there's anything good on TV in general. So, I'm going to start this thing up. It'll take a while. Let's go and see. Let's go and see. Come on. Get excited. I know you're excited. You haven't seen TV in years, have you? We're going to check it out. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa. What is this? Oh, I didn't expect this at all. It's not like I set this up or anything. The Dark Knight Returns part is Batman related. It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. Batman. It's not even a cartoon. It's a movie. It's a movie. It's a movie. I'm telling you, it's a movie. Because it's a movie. It's 76 minutes long. Yeah, honestly, yeah, this isn't, this is actually, I'm not gonna look good TV shows. I'm actually gonna go ahead and review this movie for you guys. Cause seeing as how two really good DC animated cartoons have sadly bitten the dust and been canceled, I thought it'd be kind of customary to go ahead and look at two other really good DC animated features and really just try to get myself in the mood that there are other good DC animated material. And the films I'll be reviewing today would happen to be Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part Dos. Uno and dos. Plus, Uno and dos makes 3. But there isn't a third part because they're not making one on The Dark Knight Strikes Again because it sucks ass. So let's go ahead and review Part 1, because Part 1 comes first if you know math. I'll hold it for now. I'll keep it on my lap. But, I'm crazy. But, Part 1, as you can probably tell from the title, is based off, of course, the graphic novel of the same name. Dark Knight Returns Batman The Dark Knight Returns. It was comic released in 1986. It really, if it wasn't for this comic, we wouldn't really have, any real dark Batman. Like, people do, before this, know a little bit about dark Batman, stuff like that. But it was really just a 60s show. Like, if you knew Batman, you just really knew the 60s show. So when this comic came around, it was like a reintroduction to Batman's roots and everything. And if it wasn't for this, we really wouldn't have, Batman the way he is today, dark, gritty, and realistic. And if it really is anything but, it's canned and it's, panned by critics and all those, people. So, this is a really big deal. So when I heard that they were making another movie out of this, an animated movie, I didn't really care because before that I didn't read this. And honestly, as a Batman fan, it's probably going to come as a big shock that I still have not read this whole thing. I currently am reading. I have read a little bit of it so far. And really, from what I've seen in the comic book, this does seem, both these parts, do seem to hold up as a good adaptation. They do change around a few things, like, some stuff that would be in the first part, seeing as how it is seen in some of the events that take place in the first part, or switch to, the second part for story purposes, which makes sense. Changes like that, they do make, but it overall is the same, overall is the same thing. And again, this does hold up as a good adaptation. Same thing with the second part. So, that's pretty good. But both these, the comic as an adaptation was of course split into two movies, part one and part two. Part one, part uno, part dos. And honestly, I hate it when films get split into two parts because it's just a huge ass cash grab and they just want to torture you by making you wait a few extra more months. And that's really, and I actually didn't buy this when it first came out because I didn't want to wait an extra, few months. Back when this movie first came out, I thought it was going to come out in, July or something, so that's especially why I didn't get it. I thought it was supposed to come out in July. I don't know why I decided, I'm stupid. But that's why I didn't buy it when it first came out. I just decided, I'll probably buy it, weeks before, a couple weeks before, the second part came out, so that way I didn't have to wait as long as I would if I bought this when it first came out. So, that's what I did, and I really, really, really loved this movie. But again, I really hate it when films split their certain film into two parts, especially, if it's your last movie, like Harry Potter did this, Twilight did this, and The Hunger Games is doing this. If it's your last movie, you should make it, the big, final, long, epic thing, all finales should do. And for this, if you're adapting something as acclaimed and well-known to Batman fans as well as, animators and, who else, like The Dark Knight Returns, you really should give this kind of special treatment by making, the first DC animated movie to be, more than an hour and a half, or the first 2.5 hour, DC animated Batman movie. It would kind of give it a lot of respect, but splitting it into two parts, that's kind of dumb. Your movie can be as long as you really want it to be, as long as you want to tell your story in that amount of time. Excuse me. So, it just makes more sense, to split, instead of split your movie into two parts, to make it, just one big part and make it one big epic thing. So, I really hate it when films split their movies into two parts, but that's just my whole spiel on that. But anyways, let's get into part one, The Dark Knight Returns, part one of two. Whatever. But The Dark Knight Returns part one finds an older, more, decrepit Bruce Wayne after, 10 years of being retired from the whole Batman thing due to the loss of Jason Todd, the second Robin, at the hands of the Joker. Although they don't mention that for some reason, I really am not sure why. But, this movie does take, this movie has explained it better. I really don't think I explained it that well. I really like the way I explained it, but the movie finds an older, more decrepit Bruce Wayne an older Bruce Wayne in Gotham City. It's been 10 years since he's last put on the cape and cowl and has been Batman, and ever since then, the crime in Gotham has just skyrocketed to the point where even before Batman, there was a Batman in Gotham, the crime has just skyrocketed, and there's a new gang of bad guys in Gotham called the Mutants, who are basically just committing, just all kinds of different crimes for no apparent reason whatsoever. They explain it kind of in the movie in the very beginning, this one. And Batman, due to the, high crime rate, must come, out of retirement, must fight these, this new gang of mutants. That's basically the overall story for the movie. And it really is a great, great, great film and a great representation of a great graphic novel. Now, let's get into some of the voice actors quick. First of all, the main man playing Batman would have to be Peter Weller. And for those of you who don't know who Peter Weller is, Peter Weller was RoboCop, which is amazing. You go from being RoboCop to Batman, two crime fighters who are going on a crusade against crime. Is a perfect casting decision. His voice fits a very much, older, beaten down, and exhausted Batman and Bruce Wayne. I thought his voice fit perfect for Batman. I thought it was really nice and intimidating and awesome. If I ever found Batman was real and he had this voice, I would shit my pants right there on the spot, and he would probably leave because he doesn't like the smell of shit. But I wasn't at all really pissed off that, they didn't get Kevin Conroy to do it, because I don't think the Kevin Conroy voice would really fit this Batman. It's an older, more, decrepit Batman. It's not like what the Kevin Conroy voice for Batman for me is like a lot more younger Batman in his prime. Instead of this Batman who's a lot more rusty and trying to get back into the game. I really like this voice a lot more better. I thought he did a great. Well, actually, I didn't like it better. I think they both are just as good. 50-50, both of them are perfect Batman. But, Pierrot did a great job as an older, more, rusty Batman. I thought he did great, personally, just plain simple. And playing the sidekick of Batman, Robin, we have Ariel Winter playing the Carrie Kelly version of Robin, the first, I believe, female Robin. And again, also did a great job. I thought she did an amazing job as Carrie Kelly. I thought her voice kind of fit the whole look of the character. And she did just an overall great job. Really isn't much I can go into on that. I just thought she did, a great job. I haven't actually seen anything with Ariel Winter in it. If there is anything good with Ariel Winter in it, just, comment that in the comment section below, because I would like to know. I want to see more of her work. I thought she just did a great job as Robin and everything else, which is great. So that kind of about does it for honorable mentions of the Part 1. So let's get into some of the honorable mentions of voice acting in Part 2. Of course, I have to put on the list Michael Emerson as the Joker. Now, going into this Part 2, I was a bit skeptical on the voice work for the Joker. Not because he wasn't Mark Hamill, it's just that with some of the clips that I saw of the Joker with the Dark Knight, Returns Part 2, the Joker voice for some reason sounded like Southern to me, like in some aspects, like in the clip of him on the talk show. It really sounded Southern to me. It really didn't sound like a Joker voice or anything. But watching the movie, you get really used to it. You get really used to it. It's really a creepy, fitting voice for the Joker. And I thought it was great. And, I would actually like to see Michael Emerson voice more as the Joker in some, more work if they really can't get Mark Hamill, or if Mark Hamill decides not to come back as the Joker. I don't believe Arkham City was his last role. I think he is going to come back sometime soon. So that's just my thoughts on Michael Emerson as Joker. He was creepy and menacing and just devious and just incredibly worse than, anything that's ever, the Joker's done before. Just creepy, maniacal, and just downright devious and evil and just scary and weird. And he did a great job playing, the Joker. I thought he did a great job personally. This was just really the three people that I thought did great in the movie. Not that I hated anyone else in the movie. Honestly, I'm not mentioning them because I just forget their names. I don't want to flub up on anything. The guy who voiced Superman did a good Superman. I think David Selby did a great Commissioner Gordon, I thought. I thought he did a pretty good job. And everyone just in the movie that I'm forgetting overall did a great job. There really was no one where I thought, they sucked. Everyone in any voice actor in the movie in both these parts did a great job. Personally, I thought it was great. I thought everyone in it did great. So that's just what I thought. Now, overall thoughts on Part 1, loved it. Thought it was great. I thought it was a good representation of a great graphic novel. Same thing goes with the second part. I just thought it was overall great. This is my first animated Blu-ray pickup, 2D animated Blu-ray pickup. So watching this on my Blu-ray player here in HD was really nice. Like, the animations looked so crisp and clean and clear. It looked amazing and really, really nice. It was just great, and it looked nice, and it looked awesome. Loved it. I just loved it. And seeing as how it is also Blu-ray, you have some of the Blu-ray special features, so let's get into those. Some of the stuff on the Blu-ray that you get is a Dark Knight Returns digital comic. I'm not really exactly sure what that is. I've got to look up more on that. You also get a featurette of lose my voice here, sorry. You also get a Carrie Kelly featurette named, her name is Carrie Kelly, her role is Robin, talking about, the whole transition from male Robin to a female Robin, and talking about the whole Carrie Kelly character, which is really interesting. If you don't know a lot about the Carrie Kelly Robin, like myself, it is nice to watch that and look up on it and stuff like that. You also get a featurette slash documentary titled Batman and Me, which is the Bob Kane story about Batman, about Bob Kane, the creator of Batman, created Batman, and some of the stuff that came with that. If you're a huge Batman fan like me, that is a must-see, definitely. But it isn't really exclusive to this. You can probably find it on YouTube. I did. I actually watched it before I got this Blu-ray and stuff like that, so that's all around interesting. I definitely think it's a fitting way to put this on here because this is kind of the thing that brought Batman back. And really, it's really this, The Dark Knight Returns, that kind of like brought Batman back into circulation. And it really was for this. We really wouldn't have a lot like of Batman adaptations that we have now, like The Dark Knight Rise. Like a lot of that takes this, takes a lot of its stuff from this. So, thank this comic for a lot of Batman stuff that we have. So, that's just, my thoughts. You also get 2 bonus cartoons, which are Batman the Animated Series episodes, both Two-Face Part 1 and Part 2. I really don't understand why they put those episodes on this. Like, they have an episode of Batman the Animated Series titled, I think, Legends of the Dark Knight, where they actually parody and, do a homage to The Dark Knight Returns, scene, exactly from it. I think it would have been a much more fitting thing to put that episode on here. But I still love the episode Two-Face, both parts of it. So it is really nice that they put those episodes on there, too. And lastly, you have a quick little preview of The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. But seeing as how that's out already, you might as well just buy the damn movie and kind of just skip it. If you like to see behind-the-scenes stuff like me, it is really nice to see. So